the clip that broke Disney+. Fans crash servers after Jimin and Jungkook's mysterious midnight scene airs in episode 1. Flushed face, Fire the World stopped breathing for 8 seconds. That's how long the silence lasted. 8 seconds that shattered streaming records, melted servers, and sent Disney Plus into an emergency reboot cycle it had never faced before. The cause? Not a Marvel hero. Not a Star Wars reveal. But two men under a quiet midnight sky, Jimin and Jungkook of BTS, sitting beside a campfire, whispering words that fans swear changed everything. What did Jungkook say that left Jimin speechless? What moment could possibly crash Disney Plus across multiple continents? The mystery began just after midnight. When Are You Sure? Season 2 finally premiered, and within minutes, social media was drowning in chaos. At exactly 12:07 a.m. Korea Standard Time, the clip appeared, a soft glow from the campfire, the camera panning slowly across Jungkook's profile, his face half lit by the amber light, his voice barely audible. Then Jimin turned toward him. His expression froze, a mix of shock, disbelief, and something unspoken that even the most seasoned army couldn't decode. And before anyone could rewind, replay, or screen record the moment, Disney Plus servers buckled. It wasn't just buffering. It was a blackout. Entire regions, from Seoul to Los Angeles, reported playback failures, error 83 screens, and the dreaded service temporarily unavailable message. Fans screamed online. Disney Plus crashed because of Jimin and Jungkook? The phrase, the clip that broke Disney Plus, hit worldwide trending in under 5 minutes. But what happened in that midnight scene? What words did Jungkook say? Why did Jimin's expression change so sharply, as though the truth finally caught up with them both? No official subtitles revealed the line. No preview hinted at it. And yet every fan watching could feel the weight. It wasn't scripted, many argued. It was real. Too real. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag Jimin and Jungkook crash Disney Plus, hashtag the campfire confession, and hashtag what did Jungkook say flooded every platform. Armies, streaming experts, even cybersecurity analysts began piecing together what might have happened. Disney Plus refused to comment officially, only stating that an unusually high level of simultaneous access had caused temporary disruptions. But fans weren't buying it. They wanted answers, not from Disney, but from the two men at the center of it all. BY Dawn, clips from episode 1 resurfaced in shaky fan edits, slowed down, enhanced, analyzed frame by frame. Every blink, every breath was dissected. Look at Jimin's hand, one user tweeted. He freezes, then clenches. It's like he wasn't ready for whatever Jungkook said. Others pointed out that Jungkook's lips seemed to move even before the sound caught up, a sign the scene wasn't overdubbed or retaken. It was authentic. The atmosphere, a soft, almost sacred kind of quiet, felt nothing like a variety show moment. It felt like two people talking after holding something in for far too long. Was this the moment everyone had been waiting for? A confession not about romance, but about years of silence, unspoken loyalty, and unhealed distance since BTS's hiatus began? Or was it something simpler? A whispered thank you, a brotherly apology, an emotional reunion between two men who have grown separately yet remain eternally linked. Disney Plus didn't predict the fallout. Within 12 hours of release, Are You Sure? Season 2, Episode 1 had surpassed viewing numbers rivaling major Marvel premieres. The platform servers were upgraded midday, and still, by the evening rewatch surge, playback errors returned. Fans who finally got through to the episode watched the moment again and again, desperate to decode the mystery line. What did Jungkook say? Became not just a question but a cultural riddle, sparking TikTok theories, live decodings, and even linguistic experts weighing in. A Korean lip-reading specialist on YouTube uploaded a breakdown, claiming Jungkook mouthed something like, "I didn't want to lose you." Another argued it was, "I waited." Others insisted it was, "You were right." Each interpretation carried its own emotional universe, loss, regret, affection, reconciliation, and none could be verified. Disney Plus had muted that exact second, citing ambient sound interference. Yet, somehow, Fans knew that wasn't the truth. Because when Jimin looked back, his eyes glistened in a way that couldn't be acted. He didn't smile. He didn't laugh. He just looked stunned. And then, he whispered back something unheard, his voice breaking halfway through. The scene ended with silence. No background music, no transition. Just a cut to black. Then, the episode resumed with morning light and cheerful chatter, as though nothing had happened. But the audience couldn't unsee it. That 8-second silence was enough to ignite the biggest fandom investigation since the Run BTS finale theory. What exactly did we witness? Across social media, even journalists began joining the frenzy. Rolling Stone Korea published an emergency piece titled "Jimin and Jungkook Redefine Reality TV with One Look." Meanwhile, the Korea Herald asked bluntly, was the campfire scene improvised? Disney Plus executives declined interviews, but insiders anonymously told fan accounts that the scene was not in the original shooting script. That one detail changed everything. If it wasn't planned, if Jungkook truly said something unscripted, then Jimin's reaction was genuine. And that meant viewers weren't watching entertainment. They were witnessing history. To understand why this moment exploded the way it did, one must rewind to the premise of Are You Sure? Season 2. The first season had followed Jimin and Jungkook across Europe in carefree, youthful mischief. But the second season, filmed after their military enlistments, promised a deeper, more honest side of their friendship. No one expected it to get this real. The production had teased themes of reflection, memory, and rediscovery. Yet, in that campfire light, the world saw something far more intimate than any marketing tagline could capture. Two people confronting time itself. Jungkook, ever the candid one, had spoken in interviews about missing Jimin during training. Jimin, quieter, always chose his words carefully when mentioning Jungkook, smiling, deflecting, never quite revealing what lay beneath. For years, fans noticed their dynamic shift. Once playful brothers, now more restrained, more emotionally guarded. And now, at a campfire, under stars that seemed to know too much, the dam finally broke. In online forums, older fans reminisced about 2013, the debut era, the laughter, the Magne and Hyung dynamic that defined early BTS. Others mentioned 2020, when the pandemic forced distance even between members. What if Jungkook was apologizing? One comment read, "What if that's what we saw? The weight of years finally spoken?" The emotional fallout was massive. #Jungkook began trending globally again, not for shipping reasons, but for raw humanity. Fans described feeling shattered but healed by the honesty of the moment. One viral tweet read, "We weren't watching idols. We were watching two souls learning how to say everything they never could." Even non-fans tuned in, curious to witness the scene that broke Disney Plus. Entertainment pundits called it a watershed moment for Korean reality storytelling. Behind the scenes, however, staff members hinted that the aftermath was equally emotional off-camera. According to one unnamed crew member quoted by a Korean entertainment insider blog, the set was completely silent after the take. No one moved, they said. Even the cameraman looked away. When asked whether the producers planned to cut or edit the moment, the insider claimed Disney Plus executives debated it for weeks. Ultimately, they left it in, raw, unpolished, and real. "It was the truth," the insider said. "You don't cut truth." That decision, while bold, changed the trajectory of Are You Sure? Season 2. What began as a travel series turned into an emotional odyssey. Fans started analyzing every subsequent frame for hidden meaning. When Jimin leaned his head back against the van window in episode 2, Twitter declared it symbolic exhaustion. When Jungkook handed him coffee in episode 3, people saw silent reconciliation. Each gesture, each glance became a language, but the question still lingers. What exactly happened that night? Why did Jungkook's words strike so deeply that Jimin couldn't speak? Some theories go back to their last live broadcast before enlistment, where Jungkook had joked, "Don't cry when I'm gone." Jimin, usually playful, had smiled faintly and replied, "Just come back safely." That tiny exchange resurfaced now, as if the campfire scene was their continuation, 2 years later, but heavier, deeper, realer, and still, Disney Plus remains tight-lipped. When asked by international media if Episode 1 had been edited after premiere, the official press statement read only, "No changes have been made since the original broadcast." Yet several data analysts noted that playback timestamps for that scene were inconsistent across regions. Some versions ran 12 seconds longer, others shorter. Did Disney Plus trim something? Did they restore it later? The more they avoided answers, the more fans demanded them. Fan-led digital archaeologists began downloading and comparing versions. One version, uploaded briefly in Malaysia before being pulled, seemed to show Jungkook's mouth moving slightly longer, perhaps a full sentence. Was this the uncut edition? If so, why was it removed so fast? Within hours, Disney Plus Asia deleted all local copies, citing regional synchronization issues. But the timing felt suspicious. Fans began calling it the missing second. Meanwhile, both Jimin and Jungkook remained silent. No Weverse posts, no Instagram stories, no mentions in interviews. That silence was louder than any confession. And fans could feel it. Something had shifted between them, and the world was watching it unfold in real time. BY week's end. Are you sure? Season 2 wasn't just a show anymore. It was a global conversation about vulnerability, brotherhood, and the cost of honesty in a world that expects perfection. Articles in Western outlets like Billboard and Variety began drawing parallels between the duo's emotional transparency and the growing movement for authenticity in celebrity culture. They broke Disney Plus, one columnist wrote, because they broke the illusion that idols must always hide behind perfection. In a subtle yet powerful move, Disney Plus uploaded a behind-the-scenes clip titled, "The Night We Filmed That Scene." It offered no answers, only context, producers setting up cameras, staff adjusting microphones, Jungkook humming softly in the background while Jimin stared into the fire.
No dialogue, no soundbite.
Just atmosphere. Yet that silence spoke volumes. Fans flooded the comments with theories. Was Jungkook preparing himself to speak? Did Jimin already know what was coming? Then came the biggest twist. A week later, Jungkook's label released a brief interview promoting his solo projects. When asked about filming the new season with Jimin, Jungkook smiled faintly and said, "It felt like time stopped. We didn't plan anything. We just talked." The interviewer pressed, "Even that midnight scene?" Jungkook paused. His eyes flickered and he replied, "Especially that one."
No elaboration. Just that.
The internet erupted all over again. That single quote reignited the frenzy. What did they talk about? What did Jungkook need to say so urgently, so unscripted, that even Jimin froze? Some fans speculated it was about the group, about BTS's future, or an emotional acknowledgement of their years apart during enlistment. Others went deeper, suggesting it was something personal, something only Jimin could understand. Theories spiraled, each one more emotional than the last, but all circling the same haunting truth. Whatever happened that night, it was real. By the time Episode 2 aired, Disney Plus had increased its server capacity by 40%. It wasn't enough. Viewership doubled. The platform's social engagement tripled. The midnight scene became a meme, a cultural symbol, and a moment that transcended fandom boundaries. People who had never followed BTS were suddenly watching, drawn by the raw human emotion that even language couldn't contain. "We didn't need subtitles," one global viewer commented. "You could feel everything." The emotional gravity of that scene has since reshaped the way fans view both men. Jimin, always the quiet emotional anchor, appeared more open, more visibly vulnerable in later episodes. Jungkook, once the golden magne, now seemed introspective, carrying a weight that felt newly visible. Their laughter still came easily, but beneath it, there was a shared depth, a tenderness the world had only glimpsed before. And so, the question remains, not just what Jungkook said, but why it mattered so much. Maybe it wasn't the words at all. Maybe it was the courage to speak them. Maybe it was two people finally saying, "I'm still here," after years of distance and silence. Maybe it was everything BTS has always represented: connection beyond perfection, truth beyond performance. What began as a midnight whisper became a global roar. Disney Plus may have crashed, but what it revealed, that even the biggest stars can still tremble in truth, left the world watching with open hearts. Jimin's stunned silence wasn't weakness. It was recognition. It was the sound of walls breaking down. Fans are still waiting for a director's cut, for answers, for clarity. But maybe that's the brilliance of Are You Sure? Season 2. It doesn't give answers. It gives questions, and in those questions we see ourselves. We see friendship, forgiveness, the weight of time, and the power of honesty when the cameras aren't supposed to capture it. So perhaps the real mystery isn't, what did Jungkook say? Maybe it's, why did we feel like he said it to us? Because when the fire burned low and the world paused for 8 seconds that night, something undeniable happened. Not just between Jimin and Jungkook, but between them and everyone watching. And for once, in a world addicted to noise, the silence spoke louder than anything else. And maybe that's why Disney Plus broke. Not from the traffic, not from the fame, but from the unbearable, beautiful weight of the truth that finally found its way into the light.